Neither am I. Not a parent, I'm all ever thinks out of the country. But that's okay. I understand. It's just different.
Right?
Like, Brent just told me about it. So he was in.
Bridge. Good.
And I imagine if we do road bed, I'll send all them to the door for their if we do, how we do it.
Right.
I'm just gonna not worry about it right now.
Yeah.
This is the new laid back music. But to make sure I don't get too late on this week.
Right.
Like I'm thinking about the grill thing. So I'll buy them. I think they come in the boxes like 50. Maybe I buy 2 boxes. We'll put 50 up, and then if we feel like they'll stay warm in the morning. If we feel like we're getting, so I feel like 24 on my grill at a time and something like that. So I kind of see, okay, let's put some more on. We sell 100, it's $1,000. So I mean, it's something.
Right.
Figure it out. And then with the 2 bars and just make this regular chip, like glazed chip and water, does that sound fine? $10 bucks? To look at the weather and I'll have to go ahead and
Yeah.
talk to the...
Well, everything advertising too that, I mean, yes, we're in the harvest line, or you just want to support you, drive through and pick up a meal.
I will be... Well, I gotta get going on that, so... I will. Maybe I can do something on Monday. So tomorrow morning I will figure out. But definitely by Monday we'll have stuff out.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
That'd be soon enough. Because people are thinking about homecoming this
And
week.
if you don't see anything on Monday, please say, Scott, I don't see anything. We have our business festival on Sunday, but I don't have to do a lot. I do a little bit. So we try to get the people to come in the class. Hey, can you play the sponsors only slides? No audio. Where's that at? It's on volleyball. Where's it at? It's going to in-game. Sponsor slides only. You see that? Just have that up during breaks, if anything, okay? And that way the sponsors, they help pay for the board, so we got to recognize that. Okay, now we're going to say all this stuff. Mr. Johnson's come over here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's Blockout Cancer Night varsity volleyball contest between the visiting Watchdogs of Beresford and your hometown Alcester-Hudson Cubs. As I said before, and you've seen all the signs and activity going on, tonight is Blockout for Cancer Night. It's a night when we recognize and honor all those who have fought the battle of cancer and the memory of those who have gone on before us. We remember lots of people. If you are a cancer survivor currently in treatment, or a relative or a friend of somebody who has fought the disease. We think of lots of people on tonight's night, those that we know, those that are close to us and our schools. We think of former Alcester-Hudson volleyball coach Linda Thompson as she battles with cancer as well. Tonight we do rally, however, around Tanya Somerville as she bravely battles leukemia. Her strength, courage, and positivity inspire us all. She is an active member of our community, has 3 kids in our school district, and has been an FCCLA supermom and chaperone for years. Let's come together to show our love and support for her and the entire Somerville family. We're also keeping Brianna Thier in our thoughts tonight. She is the Spanish teacher for both Beresford and Alcester-Hudson, who underwent surgery this morning for thyroid cancer. Her courage and positivity reminds us what true strength looks like. Let's lift her up in love as we support her and all the others as she begins her recovery. I want to personally thank the local FCCLA chapter for all their things that they've done to help support this night. Please check out their silent auction. We'll be drawing those between the second and third set. There's also raffle, 50-50 raffle. There's also Italian sodas, lots of stuff. We thank you for the local FCCLA chapter for all they've done to host this night. Let's have our starting lineups first for the visiting Watchdogs. Junior, number 5, Ashlyn Olson. Junior, number 6, Kate Deegan. Senior, number 10, Harley Coth. Senior, number 11, Kendra Ellis. Senior, number 12, Addison Peterson. Sophomore, 22, Kennedy Merrigan. And libero for the Watchdogs, senior number 0, Taven Tiedemann. Now the lineups for your hometown Alcester-Hudson Cubs. Junior number 3, Inez Garcia. Junior number 5, Heyana Schissel. Junior number 6, Emily Winquist. Junior number 7, Emma Sober. Senior number 9, Delta Pine. Junior number 12, Cindy Kaiser. And senior at libero number 2, Paxton Moeller. Watchdogs are coached by Lori Dressen, Callie Bowden, and Brianna Gore. Cubs are coached by Kendra Reed and Alexis Gray. Now, as we honor our country, please stand if you're able. Remove any headgear as our anthem tonight is sang by Lauren Meyer, Anna Oberg, and Katie Patrick.
Whose stars and lights
Tonight's officials are Gary Sart and Dan Holmans. Watchdog fans, are you ready? Cub fans, are you ready? Let's block out cancer and watch some volleyball! Well, good evening, folks, and welcome to Alcester-Hudson Cubs volleyball as they take on the rival Watchdogs of Beresford. Welcome, Beresford fans. If you're watching online as well, we're so glad to have you tonight, a special night with Block Out for Cancer Night here. Lots of things to remember all of those who have battled with cancer. Tonight we honor and remember Alcester-Hudson parent of 3 at FCCLA Supermom Tanya Summervald as she battles leukemia. We're thinking of the Spanish teacher as well. Our thoughts and prayers go to her as she recovers in thyroid surgery. We also remember the old ball coach, Linda Thompson, former volleyball coach here at Alcester-Hudson, as she battles as well. And so we're underway as the Watchdogs take on the Cubs tonight. Cubs coming in a record in Class 4B with an exciting 5-set win this last Tuesday night right here in Alcester Gymnasium. They were down 2-0 as they even up the score here. The Cubs were down 2-0 and came back and beat Irene Wakanda in 5 sets. And that brought their record to 6-14 and moved them up to number 6 in Region 4B. If you remember how the playoffs work in Region 4B, 6 will get you a first-round game against the number 3 team, which currently number 3 in 6B is Trip Delmar Armor. So still plenty of volleyball to go, a couple weeks left. Beresford comes in tonight with the record of, lost my sheet here. I will find their record. Hold on 1 second. They're over in 4A, Class A school. Scores 3-1. Cubs on top early here in the first set. Beresford is 9-12 in District 4A. I believe that's a 17 districts, and Beresford was either 5th or 6th. Don't quote me on that, but again, my executive producer, I don't have all my stuff here, but that's your pregame information. Nice save by Schissel there, and here come the Watchdogs. That's number 10, Harley Koth, with the hit in the middle. Schissel sends over the free ball. They're going to set up on the near side, or on the far side. I'm sorry, that's number 22, Merrigan. And that ball goes out of bounds, and Beresford gets to serve back, trailing 3-2. Number 6, Kate Deegan, set to serve for the Watchdogs. Always a good matchup between Union County rivals Beresford and Alcester-Hudson. It's nice to see good student section on their feet for both squads. Of course, it is Wear Pink or Orange Night to commemorate cancer, and so got lots of that splashed throughout the stands. Both student sections are loud and standing at the current moment. We're tied at 3-3. Schissel just a bit outside. Ate too much Wheaties on that one, and the Watchdogs go up 4-3. Back to serve again is the junior Deegan for the Watchdogs. This will be a set for Heidi Swanson. Blocked. And ball, little trouble in the net for the Watchdogs. Cubs get to side out and tie it back up at 4. Nice serve by Delta Pies, and that's a nice hit by Solberg. And the Watchdogs recover. Solberg had that free ball there and standing at the net, and she slammed it down, but dug out well by the Watchdogs. Looks like number 11, Kendra Ellis, is going to check back in. Back to serve is Harley Koth, the senior for Beresford. Line drive serve, dug out. Oh, it's going to be tough off the ceiling. This might be trouble. Winquist saves it and gets the ball over. Here's a set in the middle. A little tap. That's number 11, Ellis, in the middle for the Watchdogs, and that one's going to be just a bit outside, and the Watchdogs go up by 2. So Cubs in their last 2 home matches, I believe, have had 5-set victories. So we'll see if they can pull a 3rd straight home win out here tonight, and that's Heidi Swanson. That's going to be Kennedy Merrigan with a kill for the Watchdogs. They've taken a 3-point lead, up 7-4 on the Cubs. Homecoming week this week, obvious. If you haven't heard, we honored the homecoming royalty before the warm-ups tonight. Congratulations to homecoming king and queen Jacob Cole and Delta Pies. And that one just a bit outside, and Cubs back within 2. With Schissel back to serve. Other senior royalty were Ella Erickson, Tommy Walth, Skya Omley, and Owen Sirk. New look for the Cubs. It had been Inez Garcia at libero, but Paxton Moeller has the libero jersey on tonight. A nice net play by the Cubs gets them within 1. Schissel back to serve. Nice line drive serve. They're going to call that in right on the line. That was a close one. A real close one. But Cubs get the break there, and Schissel's going to serve it up before there's any more question. And we're tied at 7. Here's number 11 with the hit. Oh, off Schissel, off the wall. Nice hit by Kendra Ellis for the Watchdogs. 8-7 your score. Close match here and early going in set number 1. Again, homecoming week, parade tomorrow, 1 p.m. Be sure to, that one goes in the net. And the side out Cubs as Swanson back to serve. Here's a set. That's Ellis over there on the far side. Amy Lurseth was checked in. Now she checks out. And back to serve for the Watchdogs. He is number 5, Ashlyn Olson. As Garcia is going to check in for Swanson. Back row for front row. And Olson set to serve. Her Watchdogs up by 1, 9-8. That one just a bit outside as well. So both teams ate their Wheaties this morning. Had a few serves go just a bit outside. And we're in a tight one here. 9-all. Emma Solberg back to serve for the Cubs. This one's going to be dangerous at the net. Nice play by Delta Pies. And that's going to be out of bounds. Good effort over there by number 22, Merrigan, who dove for it. Between the kind of over there and a lot of obstacles between the official Jerry Sarda, the scorer's table, and the post. Unable to come up with it. Cubs come up with a point. There's a nice spike, and I hit. Nice save by Pies. Cubs need to get back in position because here comes Talia Strom, and she hits it just a bit too strong. And Cubs all of a sudden are up by 2 behind the serving of junior Emma Solberg. She sets to serve. It's going to be a free ball. See if Cubs can take advantage of that. Kaiser's been setting nice lately, and she sets for Pies, but it's blocked by the Watchdogs, and that one, nice eye there by Taven Tiedemann, as it is just a bit outside, and Tiedemann set to serve. Watchdogs down by 1, and here's the serve. Moeller digs it out. This is Winquist. She's going to try to paint that Bob Ross corner. That's one of Winquist's signature shots. She pushes it in the corner, paints a nice little picture, nice little pretty world right inside that corner, and gets the point for the Cubs. They lead 12-10, and Winquist back to serve again. This is number 10, Koth. Nice dig by Garcia. Cubs a little miscommunication, and the Watchdogs pull within one. Here's the set for Pies. Nice blocking on the front row. That's Harley Koth on the block there. She really elevated and denied Pies. A little tip ball by Merrigan. Here's another set. This is going to be for Shizzle, and that's going to be out of bounds. All tied up at 12. Pretty tense match here today as Peterson. Oh, and that's going to be tough. That's going to be off the light. And the Watchdogs are up by 13 to 12. Addison Peterson, the senior, back to serve. That hit that light again. Cubs having trouble with the home field lights. We're going to have to send a free ball over here as Kaiser gets it. This is going to be a set. Looks like it's going to be Koth on the hit, and she skims it off the block and puts the Watchdogs up by 2. Nice hit by Koth, powering through the Cubs block. Peterson set to serve it again. Kaiser this time is going to set it for Pies in the middle. Dug out nicely by Peterson. It's another big hit, just a bit outside though. Merrigan really wound up and swung that one. And Cubs get a break and trail by 1 with Kaiser, who's been setting nicely after coming back from injury a couple weeks ago for the Cubs. She's up to serve. Nice hit by Koth. A little tip by Pies, and that falls. So sometimes it's not the big swings that get you points, but Cubs will take points any way they can get him on the little soft changeup by Pies. Ties this one up at 14. And Kaiser back to serve again. Cubs have trouble with that one in the net. And the point goes to the Watchdogs. Again, homecoming football game will cap off the homecoming week. 6 p.m. is this kickoff time on that. Come out early and enjoy the Booster Club tailgate supper. And that serve is an ace off the foot of the Cubs. And Kate Deegan, the junior, set to serve it again. Serves it in the same place. Schissel gets it dug out. Now she's going to try to spike it in the corner. And it's going to be right inside the line. A real close one. Cubs getting the break inside the line tonight a couple times. And they go back to trailing only by 1. As the senior Delta Pies serves it up. This is going to be Merrigan. On the near side, that's number 3, Lurseth. Here's Schissel. Gets it through the block, and they get the point. Actually, technically, it was a Watchdog in the net, but definitely want to give credit to the spike and the hit by Schissel. She's been hitting well. Hit well Tuesday night versus Irene. There's a little tip gone awry for the Watchdogs, and Cubs are back in front, 17-16. So real exciting set number 1 here for you, back and forth between the rival Watchdogs and Cubs. As Delta Pies serves it up, yeah, it's going to be right inside the line again. I tell you what, the Cubs got their measurement goggles on and are hitting right inside the line, and we're going to go to timeout with the Cubs leading by 2 early on.
And we're back here, 18-17 your score. 2 straight points by the Watchdogs after the timeout, and they've tied this up at 10 apiece. It's been back and forth all set. And Cubs will go up by 1, 19-18. If the rest of the match is half as exciting as this first set win has been, we're in for a real treat, folks. There's the serve by Hsvb. Cubs take advantage of a net ball. That's Winquist with a hammer. Puts the Cubs up by 2. Got to take advantage of those floaters that end up in the middle of the net. And be the aggressor on those. Speaking of aggressor, that's a great hit by Ellis, but dug out by the Cubs. This is going to be Ellis again. Off the block. Cubs have trouble at the net. Nice play by Swanson. Here is number 3, Lurseth. Hits it across. Cubs defend. This is Solberg. Just a bit outside for Solberg. And Watchdogs trail by 1. Back to serve. It's going to be the sophomore Merrigan for Beresford. Cubs up 20-19. Here's the serve. It's going to be a set for Swanson. She's going to hit it. Merrigan tipped it a little awkwardly, and Beresford can't recover. Cubs go up 21-19 as Swanson is rewarded for the hit and back to serve. That one's going to be just a bit outside, and back within 1 are the Watchdogs. Back and forth we've been. A typical rivalry matchup here in Alcester-Hudson Gymnasium tonight. Number 5, Olson. Ashlyn Olson, the junior Watchdog, set to serve. Garcia checks back in for the Cubs in the back row, and we're ready to go. Cubs lead by 1 here, late stages of set 1. That's going to be a tough ball to dig out of the net. Cubs would like another chance at that and get a little better dig. But now we're all tied up at 21 each. Ashlyn Olson back to serve again. Kaiser's going to set it for Winquist, and just a little too much mustard on that one. And now the Watchdogs, who were 2 down, are now up by 1 here. They've rattled out 4 straight points since the timeout. This is Winquist. It's going to be a nice play at the net by Winquist. And there's a great kill by number Ellis. She winds up and sends it across like a missile. And just like that, another timeout. Last timeout, Cubs were up by 2. Now we've got another timeout. Watchdogs up by 2. We'll be back. Let's thank our sponsors. Anyway, 23-21. Watchdogs with the lead. That serve goes out of bounds. So Cubs need to take advantage of that gift of an out-of-bounds serve and get this one tied up. They're down by 1. The junior Solberg set to serve. This will be a set for, looks like it's going to go a little tip. Nice play by number 11, Ellis. She read the defense going up for the block on that one and just hit it over the Cubs with a little dink shot. And that has the Watchdogs on the verge. Not over yet. 4 is the loneliest number in volleyball. And Coach Reed wants to talk this one over. 22-24. We'll be right back. And coming back off the timeout, it's been a back and forth set number one. Cubs, however, with their backs against the wall. 24-22, the Watchdogs have the lead. The senior Taven Tiedemann set to serve. Dug out by Schissel. This will be a set. Looks like Winquist is going to have to send a free ball over. Here's a set on the far side for Talia Strom. Dug out by the Cubs. Here comes Winquist with a push. Cubs will probably get a free ball here. Let's see if they can't set this up to their advantage. Kaiser is going to set. This is going to be just another free ball. So exchange of free balls for both teams. This is going to be number 10, Koth. And she said, let's be done with this set. And she sends a missile over. And the Watchdogs take set one. So set one goes to the Watchdogs. Close back and forth affair. And we will be right back with hopefully another exciting set number two. Thanks for joining us. And as we're coming back out of our timeout here, getting ready for set number two, take a moment to thank our sponsors who sponsor Cubs live stream on YouTube. Premier Bank, Hudson Meats and Sausages, Alcester Insurance, and Ahhs Service Partners. If you're interested in sponsoring live stream activities, we've got plenty of, we got a few volleyball games left and the entire basketball season to go. Have your business name displayed on the screen. Contact the school. 100% of your sponsorship money goes right back to the school. Helps us pay for all this neat technological stuff that we can bring this live stream production to you. I want to thank the Alcester-Hudson media class for helping out during the year with the some slides we see on there and some of the setup, and they do a good job working the video board at the school, learning some great and wonderful stuff that they could use in the future. Lots of careers out there in video production, whether it's through sports or anything else, and we're glad we can help bring Cubs volleyball to you. Always good to be in the stands, but if you can't be in the stands, it's great to be able to catch it on our YouTube channel. And if you're out there watching this today and wondering, I haven't seen the JV games on YouTube, a little bit of change this year, you'll find those on Huddle Fan. If you just look for the Huddle Fan app or HUDLFAN on your web browser, you've got to do a little more things, but we've streamlined a little bit easier to make it easier on our executive producers to get those on there for you. So all JV matches will be, or junior high matches and basketball games, anything junior high or JV, are on a great app called Huddle Fan. You can get it on your smartphone, get it on your smart TVs, or look it up on the web browser of your computer. However you want to do it, you can check out the JV and junior high action this year. We will continue to bring all varsity contests for you on our YouTube channel. Okay, that being said, it's 2-1. Watchdogs took set number 1 in a back and forth affair, but they rallied late and beat the Cubs, and now they're tied it up at 2 apiece. So Cubs need to continue to do what kept it in that set 1. They were able to find the inside of that back out of bounds line a few times and really defend the net really well. They just got to continue to get those serves inbounds and continue to take advantage and set up their offense and get a spike over. And that one falls inside the net, and a point to the Watchdogs. They're up by 1. Served by number 6, Deegan. Goes out of bounds into the Watchdogs student section. And 4-2 your score. And Deegan back to serve again. Low, just a little skimmer off the net. Almost didn't get there, but does get over. This is going to set up Merrigan, dug out well by the libero Moeller. First night as the libero this season, I believe. This is Merrigan again, and Cubs are having trouble at the net this set. They've lost a couple ones in there, and the Watchdogs have sprung out to a 3.52 lead, trying to take set number 2 from the Cubs. Still a lot of points to be had in this set, though, as Deegan serves up again. Here's a set by Kaiser. And Swanson sends it over. Pies with a nice play at the nice dig by Deegan. This is going to be Merrigan, who sends it into the back row past the defense. And Watchdogs in cruise control here for the moment, up 6-2 on the Cubs. And nice serve by Deegan. That's an ace. And 7-2. And Coach Reed says, let's regroup, Cubs. And we'll have a timeout. So we'll be back after And we are back to action here. Number 6, Deegan, who seems like has been serving over there for an eternity, as the Watchdogs have built a 7-2 lead. And they're going to say it was out. So a little question on the call. Both teams were celebrating. Cubs get the break on that one and end the rally, the service rally by the Watchdogs, as Delta Pi sends it over. Cubs trail 3-7. A punch over by Merrigan. I'm sorry, that is Lurseth here, or no, I'm sorry, that's Deegan here on the near side. And Watchdogs can't handle that one, and Cubs have 2 straight points. They trail by 3. It was Tuesday night that the Cubs trailed 2-0, came all the way back, And what an exciting match versus the Eagles of Irene Wakanda in 5. That serve kind of fizzles out for Delta Pies. And side out to the Watchdogs. Harley Coth, the senior, back to serve for the Watchdogs. Solberg winds up and gets the tip. That one was headed out of bounds, but in the way was the outstretched finger of the Watchdogs, and Cubs with another break they need to take advantage of here. They trail by 3. Schissel back to serve. Well, was rooting for the Milwaukee Brewers in the MLB playoffs in honor of one of my favorite announcers in the 80s and 90s, Bob Uecker, but they lost today 3-1 to those Dodgers, and they are in a pickle. They're down 3-0 in that National League Championship Series. The Mariners would be a good team, someone different in there. They are down 2-1 in the top of the third in Seattle in game number 4. Mariners have a 2-1 lead. If you're wondering what the baseball scores are, Cubs having a little bit of trouble here under the serving of Kate Deegan. The Watchdogs have opened up a 6-point lead. And we've got a battle of old quarterbacks going on in Cincinnati tonight. Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers. Right now it is Rodgers and the Steelers as the Watchdogs continue to roll, but are Rodgers and the Steelers up early in the second quarter, 10-0 over the Bengals, who have been riddled with injuries. So Cubs get a break here, only trail by 6. Swanson back to serve. Ellis with the spike, but the Cubs answer with the block, and they rattled off a couple points, trying to climb back in this one. Swanson set to serve again. High arching serve. This is going to be Ellis, and just out of bounds. And Cubs on a little bit of a roll here. They pulled within 4 in set number 2. There's a dig. Going to be a free ball for the Watchdogs. See if they take advantage. They're going to set up little almost miscommunication, but they do get the ball over. Nice work on the net. Flying in there to dink it over is Solberg. Here's a set for Winquist. She fires up just a bit outside. And back with the side out and a 5-point lead are the Watchdogs as Ashlyn Olsen set to serve. And that one goes into the net, and Cubs get it back and a chance to crawl back within 4 as they trail 13-9. And Solberg set to serve. Nice serve by Solberg. Good low trajectory. This is Strom, and she gets the kill. So Cubs get a little rally, and then Beresford squelches it. Still lots of time left. They trail 14-9. Tiedemann back to serve, the libero for the Watchdogs. Kaiser's going to set it for Winquist. She's going to push it into the corner. Here's Strom. Gets it over and through the block of Pies. And 15-9 is your score. Watchdogs trying to take a 2-0 lead over the Cubs. And some very intricate network done by both teams, and a little miscommunication there. And Watchdogs back up by 7. 16-9 over the Cubs. Again, let's look at the schedule for the Cubs coming up. 2 home games this week. Had one Tuesday and, of course, tonight. There's a hit by Strom. Here's a set for Winquist. It's just going to be a free ball sent over by Tiedemann. And Pies is going to try to get it in the campfire. Defended well. Strom hits it in the far corner. A little trouble over by the bench, but the Cubs recover. Kaiser sets it for Pies. Dug out nicely by Schissel. They're going to call a lift on Winquist. He usually does that shot, but a little bit lift on that one. So let's take a look here. Cubs will be in action on Monday versus Flandreau, or Tuesday versus Flandreau Indian School on the road. And Cubs and Ace goes to the Watchdogs. And they're in cruise control 18-9. And looks like Coach Reed wants a timeout. So Cubs on Tuesday go to Flandreau Indian School. Then it looks like the next game is on the following Monday, home versus Viborg Hurley. So a week from Monday, Cubs will have senior night, I believe. And then they will close the regular season out a week from Tuesday against the Freeman Flyers. So just a few games left before district play begins. Again, right now, with 4 games left, Cubs sit at number 6. And if the season ended today, 6 would play 3. Cubs would match up against the Nighthawks of Trip Delmont Armor. So this timeout break almost coming to a close. Cubs find themselves down by 9. We'll have to dig deep here on Blockout Cancer Night. And we'll have to dig deep to get back in this one and avoid going down 2-0. Back to serve is Taven Tiedemann for the Watchdogs. She winds up and sends a skimmer off the net. Kaiser will set up Pies. Pies will get it through the block, and Cubs will get a free ball. They'll get the point because that was 4 hits. You can only hit it 3 times. And so Cubs, let's see if they can't take advantage of these mistakes and get back in this one as the junior Winquist serves. 18-10 your score. Consecutive free ball sent over, and this one's going to be just a bit outside. And back up by 8 are the Watchdogs. Addison Peterson checks in to serve for Beresford. And that's going to be trouble right at the net. Well defended by Kaiser. And Shizzle swings and misses. And now with a commanding 20-10 lead are the Watchdogs. Peterson back to serve. This will be a set for Merrigan. And that's going to land inside. Nice kill by Merrigan. She wound up and fired that one across like a missile and puts her Watchdogs up 21-10. Garcia digs that out. Kaiser's going to set this one for Schissel. Nice kill by Schissel. She winds up and sends it across, trying to breathe some life into her Cubs. They trail by 10 with the junior Kaiser serving. Kaiser serves it over. That one's going to be trouble out of bounds, and it's going to be just that. The Watchdogs get the point up 20-11. Kate Deegan back to serve. It's been a great night here tonight. We've had lots of things going on, sponsored by our local FCCLA chapter. And that's going to be a point for the Watchdogs. They've had some silent auction going on, Italian sodas, and a 50-50 raffle, which we're going to announce soon here at the conclusion of this set. Beresford in cruise control on this set. And they're 1 point away from taking it 2-0 after that close first set. And there's the serve. This will be a set for Hsvb. And Watchdogs will win set number 2. So Watchdogs have taken it after a close first set. It was all Watchdogs in set 2. We'll be back after this with set number 3. And we're back here at our raffle winner, and the raffle winner was nice enough to give the money back to Because, which helps Tanya Summervald and helps block out cancer. So after a back and forth exciting first set, Watchdogs took the steering wheel and drove and dominated all the entire set. Out to a big lead, and now they lead 2-0 as we're underway in set 3. Pies sends the free ball over. Nice dig out by Tiedemann, the libero. It's going to be a close one at the net, and the Watchdogs will get the point. Cubs have had a little trouble at the net tonight, trying to get those out of the net, or there's close ones that are just right above the net, and the Watchdogs have won those close points at the net. And a nice dig by Moeller and sets up Hsvb. Will be a free ball just a bit outside by Tiedemann. And we're all tied at 1. Swanson's going to check in for Garcia. And that's going to be a point for the Watchdogs, I believe, as number 6, Kate Deegan, back to serve. Serve goes over. And Cubs get the point, and it's all tied up 2-2. Cubs need to come out on all cylinders here to force this one into more sets. We'll see if they can do what they did Tuesday night when they came all the way back from 2 sets down to win in 5. All tied up here at 2. And that one off the block and out of bounds. Again, homecoming week, homecoming football game we'll have for you live tomorrow. Kickoff 6 p.m. Note that, a little different than normal. 6 p.m. is our kickoff as the football Cubs take on the Trappers of Scotland Menno. Cubs 5-2 on their year. Need a win tomorrow night to hopefully advance in the standings in Class 9A. That one going to be close but out of bounds. Nice eye in the back row by the Cubs. They lead 4-3. Cubs lost a tough one football field on Friday night to a very good Del Rapids St. Mary's squad. It's currently ranked number 1. I believe the Cubs have played the number 1 team. If you count Howard in preseason, they played a number 1 team in each of the classes in 9AA, 9A, and 9B. So Cubs will get Scotland Menno, the Trappers. For the first time as a co-op, they'll be playing the Cubs. They've been a co-op for a few years now. Class A for 2 years. Now they're in the second year of Class B. That one goes out of bounds, and the Watchdogs take a 1-point lead. As Merrigan back to serve. She runs, got a pretty long runway there. She jogs up and hits that one and gets an ace off the tip of the Cubs. Here's the serve, and that's an ace. So Beresford starting to catch fire here behind the serving of Merrigan, who has a pretty nice jump serve. They lead 7-4. She backs up to the wall and uses about as much as the runway as she can get, and that one just goes out of bounds, and Cubs trail by 2 with Swanson serving. That one's going to be close, but in, right on the line. So Cubs back within 1 here. They trail 6-7. Swanson set to serve again. There is a serve by Swanson. Here's the set by Kaiser. It's going to be Solberg. She tries to push it over the block. And a little tap by the Watchdogs. Solberg sends it into the back row. A little trouble by the student section. Nice save by Strom. And Kaiser will set up for, looks like, Winquist. And that'll be 4 hits. And Watchdogs back up by 2. Garcia checks back in for Swanson. And back to serve for the Watchdogs is the junior Olsen. That serve just a bit outside. And back within 1 are the Watchdogs. Again, it's been kind of a funky volleyball schedule the last couple weeks. We didn't have a game last week, 2 home games. We were able to bring the broadcast to you this week, and it'll be a week from Tuesday. We'll have the next and the last home volleyball broadcast as it'll be senior night versus the Cougars of Viborg Hurley. We'll have a football broadcast for you, of course, tomorrow, the big homecoming game at 6 p.m. And if all goes right, the Cubs will host the first-round playoff game. That game will be on Thursday, next Thursday. Time and opponent, of course, we won't know that till late Friday night, early Saturday morning. So we're kind of winding down last 10% of the fall schedule for volleyball and for football. Nice bringing you the broadcast this year. Believe it or not, junior high basketball practice begins, I believe, maybe a week, maybe next week, or maybe the week after that. So hard to get our minds wrapped around basketball this early in the fall. Lauren Meyer, senior for the Cubs, checks in for Sissel. Up 12-7 are the Watchdogs. Taven Tiedemann back to serve. Nice eye by Meyer, and the Cubs will get a side out and lead 12-8. And Watchdogs get that point as the Cubs can't get that on the front row. And they've sprung out to a 13-8 lead. Summer Carlson has checked in the game for the Cubs. Boy, Merrigan really has a big windup both on her serve and her spike. She ramped up on that one and swung around and hammered a missile. And that one actually went out of bounds. About that, I'm not too sure. I'm sorry about that. I missed that one. So Cubs will get a break on that big hit by Merrigan. And Kaiser, with the Cubs down 6, set to serve. Cubs will get a free ball. Nope. A little miscommunication on the Watchdogs. A little mini rally here for the Cubs. 9-14. They're down. 10-14. Trying to claw their way back into this one. Long arching serve from Kaiser. This is going to set up for Koth. And a little miscommunication, and the Watchdogs get the point and the side out. And 14-10 your score. There's the serve by Deegan. And Solberg with a little tip. That was Swanson who sent it over initially. Cubs back within 3 here, 11-14. The libero Moeller set to serve. Nice save off the block by Solberg. Schissel sends it over. Lurseth sends it over. Here's Solberg. She winds up. Nice block in the middle. There's a nice block by Koth, but the Cubs send it back over and pull within 2, trying to breathe a little life into this set 3. Cubs trail by 2. Moeller back to serve. Merrigan winds up, hits it softly this time, dug out by the Cubs. However, Watchdogs will get a free ball. A little miscommunication. Watchdogs recover. Nice hit by Koth. Schissel at the net. This will be Koth with a push to the far side. Oh, a little miscommunication by the Cubs. Can't get the set and the pass correctly, and Watchdogs squelched to rally a little bit. They're back up by 3 with Koth, the senior, set to serve. Oh, it's going to be trouble at the net. And back up by 4 are the Watchdogs. 16-12, your score. Nice defense by the Watchdogs on the spike by Solberg, but Hsvb can't connect on that one. And leading by 5 are the Watchdogs with Koth back to serve again, 17-12. Nice play by Swanson, avoiding the net and the out-of-bounds antenna, and gets it in right inside the line in the back corner, and puts the Cubs back within 4. Again, if you're just joining us, set 1 was back and forth, but eventually Beresford won. Set 2 was all Beresford for the most part, and they won handily. And now the Cubs are trying to get back in this one, down 13-17. That one's going to be out, and they got a break there. 14-17 now the score. Cubs trying to force set number 4 here. Ooh, that was a nice tip. Nice tip by, I believe that was Peterson over there. My view is impeded a little bit from where on my angle here. Nice job, and here is Merrigan, who gets adds new definition to running serve. I'm sure that's what all the pros do, but she really gets a good runway going and jumps and fires a missile over. Nice job by Winquist. Paints the back corner. Kind of her signature shot lately. And she gets it past the Watchdog defense. Cubs hanging around a little bit. Down by 3 here as Swanson sends the serve over. This is going to be a push at the net, dug out and over the net. Here's a set. And a nice touch, soft hit by number 11, Kendra Ellis. And that puts the Watchdogs back up by 4. Great crowd here tonight, both student sections. Credit to our student section who is actually standing up and cheering. And the Watchdogs bring a good crowd in student section as well. As number 5, Olsen, serves it up. Her Watchdogs up 19-15. Cross-court push by Winquist. And Cubs can't get to that one, and back up by 5. 20-15. Cubs have got to get a spark here if they want to send this one to set number 4. And Coach Reed is going to try to light a fire. We'll be back. Watchdogs 20, Cubs 15 after this. And we're back here, 20-15. Cubs trying to send this one into set number 4. They're down 2-0. Got some work to do as Beresford serving with a 20-15 lead here on Block Out Cancer Night. Real great support and show of the fight against cancer. For local Cub mom fan Tanya Summervald and others, we remember all those who have battled cancer and the memory of those who have gone on before us here on this special night. It's been called Dig Pink in the past. Tonight was a special Block Out Cancer theme sponsored by FCCLA. Thanks again to FCCLA for all their hard work. Cubs get a free ball over. Nice work. And this will set up number 4, Strom. She hits it over. And the point goes to the Watchdogs. 21-16 now. Cubs living on the edge here. Down by 5. And the senior Taven Tiedemann serving for the Watchdogs. Nice dig and dive by Mulder, and Cubs were rewarded, and now they trail by 4. Again, it was just only Tuesday night that the Cubs came back from 2 sets down, 1 set 4, and one set 3 and set 4 and set 5, and they're trying to rally here as that one gets through, and they trail by 3. 21-18 your score. Winquist fires it. So be trouble at the net. Watchdogs get it over. Pies is going to push it. It's a net ball again. Here's another one of those. Boy, they're living dangerously at the net, are both squads. Finally, that's Ashlyn Olsen. She sends it in the back row. Schissel turns around, sends it over. Here is Koth, and that is going to be a point. Koth hammers it for the 22nd Watchdog point. 22-18 your score. Checking in now is Addison Peterson, set to serve. And that serve just a bit outside. And Cubs trying to get a spark here. Down 22-19. Here is the serve by Kaiser. And Merrigan winds up, and Cubs back within 2. Looking like they're having some life here. 22-20. Kaiser back to serve. High arching serve. Sent over the net. Kaiser does the same. Here's the set. It's going to end up being a free ball. Let's see if Cubs can take advantage. Kaiser with a set to Pies. Nice block by the Watchdogs. A nice attack. I believe that was number 10, Koth. 23-20, up by 3. And we're going to have a timeout as we've got a close one here. Cubs do not want the Watchdogs to go quietly in the night, or the Cubs won't go quietly in the night. Watchdogs got the advantage, up 23-20. We'll be back as we thank our sponsors. And the Watchdogs, and we're back here. 2023, and Watchdogs. Cubs with the point here, trying to get some life. Rally here and send this one to set 4. Both student sections on their feet. Moeller, the libero, set to serve for the Cubs. Nice serve by Moeller, and this will set up. And that's going to be just inside. That was a great hit by Koth. Right in the corner on the inside of the line. Now the Cubs with their backs on the wall. Got to get this point back in order to push this one further. Here's the serve by Koth. Here's a set for Solberg. She's just going to push it in the back row. Here's a set. A light tap by Ellis. Cubs are going to send a free ball over here. Watchdogs will set it up for Merrigan. She hits it over the block. Just a light change up by Merrigan. And Watchdogs will win this rivalry match on Blockout Cancer Night 3-0. Good job by the Watchdogs. They took control in set 2 and led most of the way in set 3, squelched the Cubs rally, and won in straight sets. We'll be on the air tomorrow night, 6 p.m. for the homecoming football game. Come out for the parade. That starts at 1 p.m. in downtown Alcester. Lots of stuff going on. Homecoming weekend, all-class reunion stuff. You shouldn't be bored tomorrow, the next couple days in Alcester. Lots of stuff going on. Good luck to the Watchdogs and the rest of their season. And we'll be back on the air for senior night for volleyball a week from Tuesday against Viborg Hurley. Well, thanks again for joining us, and enjoy your homecoming week, everybody, and your homecoming weekend. Good night, and God bless.